It's officially September, y'all. It is the beginning of a new month. And I'm just excited on this moment, motivation with your coach, Monica Stokes. That is what it is when I come up here on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. God has put it in my spirit in this season. And y'all notice I said season. As the seasons are changing, as the seasons are shifting, God will literally speak to your spirit, not only seasonally in your life, but nature itself, it talks. So God gave it to me like 2 weeks ago. So for the past 2 weeks, I've been doing these motivational moments early in the morning. And I love it because it's been helping me. So I'm going to just continue on with what God has instructed me to do, y'all. I got a little more time today because usually on Mondays I have to go to work. But today I'm off. Glory be to God. Where I'm able to spend more time in my purpose, y'all. So I'm using today literally to still do what I would do even if I was not off. And I go to tell y'all that because I could have made the excuse, and I ain't gonna lie, I almost wanted to sit there and not do what God asked me to do. But I said, nah, can't do that. God ain't set me up that way. God is building me and teaching me how to not procrastinate and how to be obedient and also to compromise with not being the old version of who I used to be. Meaning, you can't say, I won't new. I'm talking about all of us, including myself, and still doing the old thing. So let this be evidence of what it looked like to say, you know what, I'm got to step out of this boat and I'm going to continue to do what God asked me to do. When I say step out of the boat, I'm talking about your comfort zone. My pastor spoke on that thing yesterday. He spoke about getting out of your comfort zone. He spoke about Peter, how Peter got out of the boat and God asked him to walk on water. He kept his eyes on God, but then at one time he didn't and he ended up sinking. From my understanding in that story, I need to read up more on it. But then he said this part, I'd rather be a Peter going out and trying rather than being a spectator, basically sitting in the boat. So that is what I'm speaking to all of us. And when I say all of us, I'm talking about my spirit as well. I'd rather be a Peter too. Because I know if I were to somehow, some way take my eyes off of God, meaning because you're not perfect, God always gonna be there to save us out of us drowning. Ooh, that's the revelation I got as I even just spoke that. So we gonna be a Peter. We gonna be a Peter, meaning we're gonna try. We're gonna get out of that boat of comfort. Cause like I said, I could have decided to stay in that bed this morning, but I said, nah, not today. So that's what you got to say to yourself spiritually. Not today. Me sitting here in mediocrity, it ain't working for me. Me sitting here being and doing like the world, and I don't see the results that God is telling me that I need to have. Well, then I need to check and see what I need to be doing in order to receive the results and the promises that God has over my life. So, like I said, as much as I'm saying this to y'all, Holy Spirit be getting me too. And I love it because I want what I live to be a living, walking testimony to y'all. Because God said, you as the victorious one, coach, you're going to be the one tested first. And I'm like, God said, it's all right. Because you remember when you asked for this purpose, God said, I have given you everything that you need. So that is the same thing with y'all. God has given us everything that we need to achieve that goal, to achieve that vision, to achieve that mission, to achieve our calling, whatever it is for you, because we all have a mission. God did not put us on earth, y'all, just to sit here with our arms folded. With our phones in our hands, I'm just being real, and scrolling and looking at the reels, everybody else's life, liking their life, subscribing to their life, and you haven't looked in and reflected and literally zoned in on your life, getting busy with your life and growing your life. Often this is what I learned about just seriously getting real with you growing. Other people may start saying, oh, you're not doing this as much as you used to. Why? Because you're focused. You zoned in because you're not used to sitting there stuck. You're tired of that. just real talk. You like, I done fell back a little bit from the old things places I used to go, the things that I used to be focused on. But I know that was the distraction. God even convicted me today because it was conviction. And he said, delete that particular thing off your phone. It's nothing bad, but a particular app. Because God said, I need you to be more zoned in your purpose. God say it's a new season, daughter. Come on. God say it's less of your energy, your focus on that, and I need your focus all the way in on that goal that you set for your channel. The goal you set in for coaching, the goal you set in with your personal growth and development. Because if we not careful, we'll have this in our hand, and this is a tool that God gave us, but we could be using the tool all wrong. I'm just being real. Like, are we really listening, watching, and growing with what God has given us? Or are we just sitting there looking at, like I said, God said, the reels of everybody else's life and not zoning in on the real of our life? All of y'all coming into the live, I want to welcome y'all. My name is Monica Stokes. I know we have victorious ones joining from all over the world. This is just a motivational moment, y'all. I'm here to encourage you and to empower you with real motivation and growth. This ain't that surface level stuff. This is going to help you rise up out of that step of sorrow. This is going to help you rise up with the gift, the calling that God has given you, because there is a reason why you came across this live. And the reason is God is calling you forth to become the victorious you. Yes, you. And you may be asking, victorious, who is that? That's you. God is literally waking you up spiritually and saying, you're not the victim you that used to settle. You're not the victim you that used to be a doormat. You're not the old you that was sitting there mediocre. You're not the you that was sitting at tables and in rooms where they weren't growing. God say, I am shifting seasons in your life. Woo! Just like the seasons outside, y'all, it's shifting. We are in September. Before we look up them leaves on that tree, they're going to be falling off. They're going to be changing color. So just like I said, nature is a telltale sign of what God does in our life. Seasons change. Seasons shift. So are we going to go with the shift that God is doing in our life? Are we going to grow with the shift in the changes that God do in our life? Or are we going to choose to sit in mediocrity and say, God, I want new. God, I know, God, you have better for me. And then God say, I'm so grateful you asked me that you want more, because I want more for you. But God say, there are particular things that you have to do in order to walk and live and receive what he has for us. I'm just being real, y'all. Like I said, this ain't that talk that's going to set you up to keep saying, God, what I need to do. This type of talk is going to set you up to start taking action. And I tell y'all this all the time, because for so long, I wanted a shift in my life. For so long, I wanted a change in my life. But God said it starts with you. That's what God is speaking. It starts with you. It don't start when the time changes, meaning today is a new month. And y'all, welcome to the live on today. I have Monkey on here. Sean, welcome to the live. Lucas, welcome to the live as well. Y'all continue to drop y'all comments. Y'all continue to drop your locations, because I'm just excited on this morning. This is what it looked like to be obedient to God. Not waiting on other people when they say this, that, and the third. Let them talk, while you making the walk toward your victory. Because God say there going to be spectators, watching you walk forth being the victorious you. But God said, don't let the spectators' noise that they saying to you to stop you, to block you. Be able to recognize it for what it is. Peppy, welcome to the live, sweetheart. Recognize it for what it is. How you doing on today? I'm just going to say sometimes these names could be a little. Welcome to the live, sweetheart. Lucas, welcome to the live, sweetheart. This is just going to be y'all moment of motivation. So I don't want y'all to think about any negativity that may come, because it has no weapon formed. Don't allow even situations in your life to stop you, because I can think about stuff in my personal life and I can say, I don't want to go up there and motivate because this stopping me. But you got to be stronger than that. Y'all hear me now? You got to be stronger than the circumstances and situations in your life that's trying to cause you to stay stuck, that's trying to cause you to stay mediocre. Because you can either look at your circumstances, or you can say, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to activate the praise in me. I'm going to activate the warrior in me. That's what this channel is for, by the way. So you're not going to get your victory without having to rise up. That's what God is speaking. So we want more from God. But God said, are you focusing on the enemy? Or are you focusing on the inner you that's going to defeat what's trying to steal your joy? Are you going to focus on the exterior things that you don't got control over? When God say, I'm building you victorious ones, tough. So you able to look at circumstances and say, oh, I see it for what it is. But I'm going to make the decision. This you talking to you, by the way. And I'm going to make the decision not to give up. I'm going to make the decision to rise up above it. And nobody can make this decision for you. You have to declare it. You have to live it for yourself. Because just like I told y'all, I could have stayed asleep in my bed this morning because I'm off today. But God say, nah, you got a mission. You got an assignment. You got a calling. So I say that to y'all. You have a mission. You have an assignment. You have a calling that God is telling you to rise up out of that victim mentality, to rise up out of that mediocrity mentality, to rise up out of the worldly mentality. We asking for more, but God say, for much is given, much is required. And the much, y'all, it just boiled down to obedience, sacrifice, and growth. Obedience, write this thing down. This is not me just talking. It's giving you the recipe to growth. Success is not gaining all the accolades and the money of the world, gaining all these lavish houses and cars. Yes, all that's a beautiful thing. But one of the best things you can receive and activate in your life is your healing. Is your restoration. Is you really rising up and doing what the world said that you could not do. Meaning you like, I had a label on my life because of my past. But God said that label does not define whose you are and who you are. God say rip the label off anyway. And get around other people where you can see the fruit of their life, where God has risen them out of the darkness and into the marvelous light. Because that's what happened to me, y'all. I had a blindfold on my eyes. I'm talking about spiritually. I was asleep to who I was called to be for so long. Living in the same cycles. Whoo. Telling myself the old sad story. Whoo. But I said something has to shift. Something had to change. And that something that had to shift, that somebody that had to change was me. And I'm speaking it to y'all the way that I am because I truly want to wake you up to the victorious you. And that comes when you decide it. Nobody else can decide it for you. No matter who fall off, just like these leaves about to fall off on these trees, let them fall off. Because God say they have to fall off in order for him to grow and to replenish and to show you what is all in you. And I'm not going to be on here long, y'all. I just knew I had to do what God called me to do. God don't ask me to come up here and do no 3-4 hour talking. He said, go up there and do at least a 20-30 minute filler. Come on, to let you know God has more for you. And God say, show up victoriously. Woo! And you may say, what that word mean? And y'all, when Holy Spirit gave me that word, I was like, God, is that really a word? I Googled it. Show up victoriously. So when I looked up the word victoriously, y'all, it says triumphantly. That's how you gonna show up. So don't walk around feeling like things ain't gonna change for you. No, you cannot look at it like that. You got to be like, something must about to shake. Something must about to break. Because this situation trying to break me down. This situation trying to cause me to be shakeable. When God said, not only are you triumphant, but God said you're unshakable. You're unmovable. God said because you're a victorious one. I'm just reminding you of your identity in Christ. And as much as I'm speaking it to y'all, I have to remind myself of this. So not every day are you going to wake up thinking in your spirit that you're going to win. But that's why you have to constantly remind yourself, God got me. But there's a responsibility that I have to have. You talking to you. I got to triumphantly do this. I have to successfully do this. Because God say, I am victorious. So what are you speaking to yourself? What are you allowing and who are you allowing to speak into your life? Because y'all, that is a major key to you waking up to the victorious you. Just letting you know. And only you know what you've been listening to. Only you know who you've been listening to, what you've been watching. Because you cannot, and it's just real talk, watch one thing that's talking about becoming victorious, and then you listening and watching things opposite. One or the other gonna take over. You got to choose and say, I'm only going to listen to things that's talking about me growing. I'm only going to take action and be in rooms where God is telling me to go. I'm only going to be around environments that God say, this is where I need to be. Because a lot of times, y'all, when you have a heart like us, I said it, we feel like we can fix all people. When we feel like we can save all people. When we feel like it's our assignment, God said, your assignment is to understand your assignment within who you called to be. God say, speak that thing again. Your assignment is to make sure you're taking care of you. And this is part of taking care of you. Because you like, I've been settling it. I've been sleeping on myself. I don't see my life shifting. But the seasons are shifting. Come on. So what you going to do with the seasons shifting? Are you going to sit there, still keep sitting there, sleeping on yourself, looking at the seasons pass you by? Or are you going to take it and say, I'm going to become everything God has asked me to be? And God say, speak it, and I'm saying it out of love. We got to stop blaming the devil. It's about the decisions that we make. The enemy going to do what he do. But what does he do eventually? When you keep rising up, you keep fighting, you don't give up, you keep on standing unshakable, you keep on standing up unmovable, you keep on fighting with your faith, you keep on being focused. He don't have no choice, but to flee. Because he like, dog, she just standing up. He just standing up. He ain't giving up. And God say, see, look at you, victorious one. You have truly risen to the occasion because above all odds, you didn't let what the naysayers said stop you. You didn't allow what the results may look like they wouldn't look like to stop you. You didn't allow negativity to stop you. You didn't allow distractions to stop you. You didn't allow negative spirits to stop you. So God say, look at you. You gaining your victorious one wings. You're flying now. You ain't settling no more. God say, all right, since you doing what is required, much is given. So you don't got to go around saying, God gave me this because I fought. God gave me this because I forgave people. God gave me this because I was obedient. God gave me this because I sacrificed. You don't have to go around saying that. You gonna know what you had to fight spiritually to receive everything that God has for you. God gonna teach you how to be silent when other people are testing your spirit. God is gonna teach you how to pray for your enemies. God is gonna teach you how to stand on a firm foundation when your life feels shakable. That is what it means to become victorious. It don't mean receiving the blessings of the Lord. Come on. And you sitting here living your old ways. Our old ways. God say include you too. It means doing what he called you to do. Even if it look weird to the world. Because you're going to look weird to the world. But be all right with that. Because you're going to have freedom. You're going to have purpose. You're going to have a mission. Woo! And God going to have your back. God going to continue to rise you. God is going to continue to lead you. But God say, don't allow the traps that are set along the way to stop you. Because God said you are triumphant. Look up the word victoriously, y'all, when y'all get off of this live. Because God gave me this word, victoriously. How you doing on today, Bush? Y'all welcome to the live. All of y'all that's coming in. This channel, this moment is to give you the motivation, the empowerment that you need to keep fighting with your faith. We are not out here fighting with our flesh. That's what you got to be fighting against. Saying, oh, me want to have this, oh, why me pity party. We got to stop. God say, I didn't mature you from that. We ain't in this pity party no more. Come on, God say, I'm maturing you from that. Ain't no more going tit for tat with people that's trying you either. God say, you too victorious for that. God said you need to be so focused on your growth. You need to be so focused on your assignment for growth. You don't got time for that anyway spiritually. Look at it for what it is and say, I grew up from that. God say, pray for them, for they know not what they do, and keep going about your business. And what's your business? Your kingdom business. Picking up your word. Come on. Drinking your coffee and minding your business. Growing within who God called you to be. Walking boldly for Christ. Come on. God said he has an assignment for you. But have you chosen it? Or are you still sitting there with that victim mentality? And I'm here to rise you up from that. Because for so long, y'all, it's not about me. But I know why I'm assigned to speak to y'all hearts. For so long, I sat in a pity party, wondering who was going to come save me, wondering who was really going to love me, wondering who really was going to choose me. And God said, I have chosen you. I have loved you. I am with you. I have protected you. But you keep choosing the wrong people. Come on. And that was my problem. I was choosing the wrong people to love me. I was choosing the wrong people to choose me. Come on. But God say, nah, you want more? Well, it's time for you to grow within loving who you called to be. And then you able to have the boldness, to say, oh, they weren't supposed to understand me anyways. They weren't supposed to choose me anyways. They wasn't supposed to love me anyways. God say, because they do it the worldly way, I'm going to show you and lead you the godly way. And that's going to be the right people that can pray for you, not against you. That's going to be the right people that can help you stand and not keep knocking you down. Meaning other people talking about you, saying this, that, and the third, and smiling all in your face. But the kingdom people God got for you, they're able to see spiritually. They're able to pour into you spiritually. So God say that circle got to change. But it starts with our mindset. Because often we feel like we have to please certain people. And God say, nah. You trying to fit yourself, God say it, into small environments. The more you grow, the more you become, you're going to recognize what your coach telling you. And you might don't get it right now, because that was me at first when I started growing and developing. And I was like, I got to do better. God, I don't get this though. God said, you're going to get it, but you got to keep growing. Think about it. You're going to get it, but you got to keep going. You can't keep going backwards. And asking God to say what I need to do. God said you need to stay the course. In order to get to your victory, y'all victory, you got to stay the course. God said you can't keep going left when I said go forth. God said you can't keep going back when I got a whole victory for you in front of you. And God says it's him that's going to give you the victory, not them naysayers, not people you wanted to congratulate you. But God said, I'm going to give you the victory, because God said, I'm going to get the glory from all them tears you cried. God said, I'm going to get the glory from everybody that thought they buried you. And I was raising you up. Meaning, you start really having a confidence you thought you never possessed, because you were so buried, because you thought you had to stay there. But God said, no, this is your season. This is your time to really rise up and become the victorious you. And you are going to be so unstoppable. You are going to be so unmovable. You're going to be so unshakable that others going to look at your life and say, you the same person? Because you're going to look at yourself and say that, I'm the same person. I just chose to rise up. I'm the same person. I just decided to keep fighting for my victory. I'm the same person, but I started going on the path that God had for me the whole time. And it led to my victorious one identity. So y'all continue to stay on the channel. Y'all continue to subscribe. Peppy, you continue to focus on God. You continue to grow with God. Even if others fall off, it's okay. Let them fall off. Just like the leaves fall off on the tree, God, you can't reattach them. God said it need to fall off. so that you can focus on your identity, so you can focus on your inner power. Because that could be the distractions that blocking us. Because we let past people, what they say. God say, you fly above that. Y'all be blessed. Those of you that joined the live, I want to thank y'all. Y'all don't forget to subscribe to the channel. My name is Monica Stokes. I am a motivational speaker for the kingdom of God. I am also a certified life coach. Many of y'all have reached out needing assistance on the topics that I talk about. You can definitely link up with me one-on-one. In those sessions, we'll talk about in depth about your particular situation of growth. So you can link up with me. My email is always linked down below. It's stokesmonica86@gmail.com. From there, we'll speak and we'll just talk about your growth. That's how I started growing. I started really linking up with other people. By the way, today, y'all, on my off day, I got Zooms that I got to get on in relation to my personal growth. So as much as I tell y'all the things that'll help you, I still do the same things because I know in order to keep growing mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, I have to stay the course with taking care of me. So allow my life to be a living testimony with taking the steps. Because you can listen to this teaching all day long, and then God say, what's your next step? So take your steps, continue to grow, continue to stay the course. Even if other people leave your table, even if other people leave where God is taking you, be all right with that. Because God is leading you. God goes before you. And God is ordering your steps. You got to know that for you. Y'all be blessed and y'all be encouraged. It's been your coach, Monica Stokes.